First inning, here comes Juan Soto in his Padres debut. Brandon Drury, his first debut in a Padres uniform, coming over from the Cincinnati Reds. Drury to left field. Connor Joe going back. Brandon Drury now plays in San Diego.
That one is laced deep to left field, and this one may get out of here. It does! Bell on a 3-1 pitch. And now Profar sends this one to right field. It's headed to the corner. And that's fair, and it's gone!
Scoring position. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Corner left to center field. Padres take the lead. Kim is in. Here comes Soto. Off the mound. 5-3 Padres. Machado lifts the ball to left center field. Way back there. Goodbye.
At the time of this recording, the Padres are going to start their series against the A's. The San Diego Padres had its pieces to compete for the 2023 season. But after the 2023 season, the Padres can only win 3 games in a win streak when they get hot. This team is problematic, cannot win games during extra innings, and 6-22 on 1-run games. This team wasted great talents such as Blake Snell, Michael Wacha, and Josh Hader. Snell and Hader are free agents after this season. How do you convince them to stay with the Padres after underperforming this season? I want to take you back to the 2022 trade deadline. On August 2nd, 2022, the Padres acquired pieces to compete for the Fall Classic. The Padres got closer Josh Hader, who was struggling towards the end of his tenure with the Brewers, Brandon Drury from the Reds, and one of the biggest pieces is acquiring Juan Soto and Josh Bell from the Washington Nationals. The Padres traded away Mackenzie Gore, C.J. Abrams, Robert Hassel III, Luke Voigt to the Nationals. They also gave up Taylor Rogers and Denelson Lamet to the Brewers. They also traded away Eric Hosmer to the Red Sox. During this time period, Fernando Tatis Jr. went from being on the IL to being suspended for 80 games. However, it worked out on the Padres' favor during the second half of the 2022 season. The infield consists of Machado at third base, Kim at shortstop, Cronenworth at second base, and Myers, Josh Bell, and Brandon Drury at first base. The outfield consists of Profar at left field, Trent Grisham at center field, and Juan Soto at right field. The pitching was clicking for the Padres with the big 3 of Yu Darvish, Blake Snell, and Joe Musgrove. This team was able to burn the ships and win games to make a playoff run. They went on to beat the Mets in the wildcard round and beat the record-winning Dodgers to play in the NLCS. All good things come to an end when the Padres came up short by the Phillies. By reflecting the 2022 season, this was a season to remember from the San Diego Padres. So what is the difference between the 2023 versus the 2022 Padres? The 2022 Padres had its pieces to compete for the 2023 season despite having a record of 89-73. Remember this quote, "If it ain't broke, don't fix it." The Padres tried to fix something that isn't broke going into the 2023 season. So before the 2023 season, I wonder where Tatis Jr. is going to play. A return at shortstop, replacing Kim, or in the outfield. The first big mistake with the Padres is losing of its 3 pieces, Jurickson Profar, Brandon Drury, and Josh Bell. With the addition of Soto moving from right field to left field and Tatis to right field, leaving first base open. The Padres had hesitation to sign star players. It all started trying to sign Aaron Judge, which Judge declined. Then Trey Turner after being a prospect with the Padres and trading him away to the Washington Nationals, who went on to win the 2019 World Series. During this time period, I was seeing why are we trying to sign another shortstop? This team had Fernando Tatis Jr. play at shortstop and Ha-Seong Kim's outstanding performance at shortstop in the 2022 season. I did not get this part. The plan was moving Jake Cronenworth to first base and Ha-Seong Kim at second base. The Padres went out to sign Xander Bogaerts to a massive deal. During the offseason, the Padres also signed Nelson Cruz, Michael Wacha, and Matt Carpenter. They also got Rougned Odor as well. What the Padres did right was re-signing Jake Cronenworth and Manny Machado during the offseason. Why was this the right call? Jake Cronenworth clutch hit during the NLDS and his spectacular breakout star performance during the 2020 season. Also being awarded as a 2-time All-Star in 2021 and 2022. Manny Machado, on the other hand, is being a mentor to players, for instance, Ha-Seong Kim, becoming the team captain on the team for the 2022 season. After sweeping the Texas Rangers, the Padres decided to buy at the trade deadline. The team ended up getting Garrett Cooper from the Marlins in exchange of Ryan Ruthers, Scott Burlow from the Kansas City Royals, and Ji-Man Choi and Rich Hill from the Pittsburgh Pirates. The trade that doesn't make sense is the trade from the Pirates. Choi's venture with the Padres was short-lived until he was placed in the IL. And then there is Rich Hill, which is now put on waivers with the Padres. I don't know where was this direction of the team during the trade deadline. The team was underachieving and under 500. Where was the spark plug where this team was going to go on a hot streak of wins? It turns out the Padres can only win 3 games in a row in the 2023 season. Guessing the season ends during the A series, or if not, against the Colorado in the final homestand of the season. The Padres ended up picking up Jurickson Profar after being released from the Rockies. Sometimes I wondered, what if we had Jurickson Profar the entire season? Where would the Padres be? According to Kevin Acee, there was an article put out by the San Diego Union Tribune. Manny Machado stated this: "I think we just didn't want it. I think overall as a group, we didn't want it as bad as Seattle did, or as bad as some of the other teams. I will say that. I think that everyone's fault. It's everybody's fault. We didn't want it as a team. It falls down to the team. That's not necessarily one player. It's not an individual sport. So I think untimely it comes down to all of us. We should have wanted it more." That was stated after the Seattle series where the Padres got swept. Manny Machado is right about the team not showing up. It's not an individual player to blame. What is upsetting is selling out Petco Park numerous times and losing games in front of the fans. The fans paid their hard-working money to see the Padres play baseball. You may think the pitching has been good for the Padres, but realistically, it's not sustainable. Blake Snell is pitching his way to the Cy Young Award. Joe Musgrove will most likely be shut down for the rest of the season, and Yu Darvish is shut down for the rest of the season. Michael Wacha has been solid this season, and Seth Lugo has been reliable. The Padres are using Pedro Oliveira and Matt Walden as part of their starting rotation. With the offense, how do you describe these guys? Xander Bogaerts had a streak reaching base 30 times at the start of the season. Manny Machado is not the same as last year, but near 30 home runs this season. Jake Cronenworth struggled this season, but now is out for the season after being hit by a pitch in Milwaukee. Juan Soto improved from last year to this year. Then you have guys like Gary Sanchez, who replaced Osinola as the starting catcher, and the recall-up of Luis Campusano. If Manny Machado held this team, including himself, accountable for the Padres' underperformance this season, the blame is the entire Padres organization for the 2023 season. It all started after A.J. Preller at the start of the offseason and the trade deadline wanting to buy star players. The 3 important pieces from the 2022 season was Profar, Bell, and Drury. They went to a different team. I question, what if we still had those guys before the 2023 season? Would the Padres sign Bogaerts? Is the blame on poor management from Bob Melvin? The blame shouldn't be on Bob Melvin because he took the Oakland A's to the playoffs. This is the 4th manager during the A.J. Preller era, from Bud Black, Andy Green, and Jay Singler. But now it's left wondering, what's there to look forward to for the San Diego Padres in 2024? This is Matty Ice 18 Productions. Thank you for watching.
First out of the 8th.